Hello and welcome to the channel. The story of the prisoner who wore glasses. This story was written by Bessie Head, and the country of Bessie Head was South Africa. Bessie Head was born in Apartheid, South Africa. She had a rough childhood and never met her real parents. She was denied the full privilege of citizenship in her homeland. Bessie decided to move to Botswana where she could escape her hard life in South Africa. She writes many books, including her most famous novel, When Rain Clouds Gather. Some of the books she has written, Marrow, Question and Power, while some of her novels and stories explore her village life in Botswana. Many writings reveal the tragedies and injustice of the land where she was born. The background of the story is from the late 19th century. Black South Africa who tried to be assertive frequently became political prisoners. Some people were imprisoned, for example, simply for speaking out against the government or publicly protesting government policies. South Africa was then ruled by a white minority government whose official policy of apartheid kept the races separate and legally discriminated against the nation's black majority and the other people of colors. The characters and the stories are Bradley, the main character, story protagonist, and a member of a group called Span One, which consists of African political prisoners. Brealey had a great relationship with Span. They acted as one unit. Never mind, brother. What happened to one of us happens to all. Jacobus Stephanus Hanetzi, he is the antagonist of the story who undergoes a profound moral transformation. He was a cruel and brutal warrior. The setting of the story is South Africa, the southernmost part of the South Africa prison farm, shows that it's probably a warm climate. Lots of labors like farming, and shows that labor of prisoners would be exhausting in the heat. The plot of the story is the exposition starts with the Brailleys working in a field with Span One, and he's going to try to send a message to his children. The rising action of the story starts when the Span One gets water energy as they need water, and he's crawls to them and takes control. The climax of the story is Bradley found out ways to manipulate water energy and makes him miserable. Filing action water energy pleads for Bradley to stop messing with him, and Bradley will if they work together. Resolution of the story is water energy worked with Spain and they work peacefully. The literary devices that were used in the story was metaphor, personification. Metaphor in the story was his eyes were the color of the sky as metaphor, and the personification. Scarcely a breath of wind disturbed the stillness of the day. A simple, primitive, brittle soul gazed out of them. This streak the cloud were playing with the sun. These are personification. Narrative points of view. The narrator's view was of third person omniscient because the narrator all knowing and what was going on inside every character's mind. Who dropped that cabbage? He thundered. Braille stepped out of line. I did, he said meekly. I thought that this short story was great because it showed the importance of companionship between Span 1. Motives of the story short term. Bradley wants to get his way with Spain 1 and do whatever wants while he's in prison. Long term, Bradley most likely wants to get out of prison and go back to his wife and children. The conflict of the stories, the conflict in the stories main versus main, because both Hanazi and Bradley Cage each other's styling, and that brings conflict between them. Theme of the stories: apartheid, racial oppression, and dehumanization. The summary of the stories: a group of South African prisoners called Span 1 works on the prison's farm picking cabbages. Because of their strong sense of group solidarity and the lack of guilt over their political crimes, they have grown rebellious and impossible for the white guards to subdue. Spain wants special status change with a new guard or the new border arrives at the prison farm, strict and brittle to the point of inhumanity. One of Warden's Anazi first acts is to severely beat prisoner with glasses for a minor offense, and effectively punish the entire work group. His surveillance and authority destroy Spain wants freedom. They live in fear and suffer under Hanazi house treatment until the the best bespectacled prisoner Bradley concocts a plan to subdue the guard. At least he succeeds. The warder works with Spaniards and they work together peacefully.